7 days before goodbye. Day 1, the beginning of the end. The clock was ticking, counting down the days until they would have to part ways. Anna and Mark sat in their favorite coffee shop, the place where they had shared countless conversations, dreams, and laughter. But today the atmosphere was different. A quiet sadness lingered between them, a realization that their time together was slipping away. Mark was leaving for another country, a long-term work opportunity he couldn't refuse. Anna understood, but that didn't make it any easier. They had 7 days left, and they silently agreed to make every second count. Day 2, a walk down memory lane. Determined not to dwell on the inevitable, they decided to revisit the places that had shaped their relationship. They walked through the old bookstore where they had first met, Anna searching for a rare poetry book, Mark reaching for the same one. That accidental touch had sparked something neither could ignore. They sat by the river where they had once spent an entire night talking about their dreams. The city around them was alive, but all they could focus on was each other. The weight of goodbye hung over them, but for now they embraced the moment. Day 3. The unspoken words. Not everything had been said between them. There were fears, regrets, and emotions that had remained unspoken. That evening, under a sky full of stars, Anna finally voiced her thoughts. "What if we don't find our way back to each other?" she whispered, staring at the ground. Mark took her hand, his grip firm yet gentle. "Then we'll cherish every moment we had. But I don't want to think about goodbye just yet." The truth was, neither of them knew what the future held, but in that moment, they chose love over fear. Day 4, a promise in the rain. The rain came unexpectedly, drenching the city in a soft, melancholic rhythm. Instead of running for shelter, they embraced it, dancing in the downpour, laughing like they had no worries in the world. Mark suddenly stopped and held Anna close. "Promise me something," he said, his forehead resting against hers. "Promise me that no matter where we are, we'll always look at the same sky and remember this." Anna nodded, her tears mixing with the rain. "I promise." Day 5. The fear of goodbye. The closer they got to the final day, the harder it became to ignore reality. They spent hours just holding hands, afraid that letting go meant losing everything. Anna wanted to be strong, to support Mark in his decision, but deep down, she wished he would stay. Mark, too, felt the weight of his choice, but he knew he couldn't ask her to wait for something uncertain. Love, after all, was not meant to be a chain, but a wind that carried them forward. Day 6, one last dance. On the eve of their goodbye, Mark surprised Anna with something special. He had rented a small, cozy rooftop space adorned with fairy lights and soft music playing in the background. "Dance with me?" he asked, extending his hand. Anna smiled, placing her hand in his. They swayed slowly, their hearts speaking in a language only they understood. No words were needed. Every step, every glance, every heartbeat was a silent declaration of love. "I love you," Mark finally whispered. "I love you too," Anna replied, holding on to him as if she could stop time. Day 7, the goodbye. The airport was crowded, yet it felt like they were the only two people in the world. Their hands were intertwined, neither willing to let go first. "This isn't the end," Mark said softly. Anna forced a smile. No, it's just a different beginning. As he walked away, she felt a part of her go with him. But deep in her heart, she knew that love was never about distance. It was about connection, about the moments that would forever be theirs. And so, with one last glance, they whispered their silent promise to the universe. No matter where life took them, they would always carry each other in their hearts. Months later, the letters' days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The initial pain of separation dulled into a quiet longing. Anna and Mark wrote to each other, their emails filled with details of their daily lives, their emotions, their love that never faded. One evening, Anna sat at her desk, reading a letter from Mark. I miss you in ways I can't describe. I see you in every sunset, hear you in every love song, but I know we made the right choice. Our love is strong enough to endure the distance. She clutched the letter to her chest, tears brimming in her eyes. Their love was alive despite the miles between them. A surprise visit. A year had passed. Anna had accepted that life had changed, though her heart still beat in rhythm with Mark's. One evening, as she closed the bookstore where they had first met, she turned to find a familiar figure standing in the doorway. Mark. He was there, smiling at her, his suitcase by his side. I couldn't stay away any longer, he whispered. I couldn't stay away any longer, he whispered. I came back for you. Anna ran into his arms, feeling his warmth, his heartbeat against hers. No words were needed. This was home. A new beginning. They spent the next days rediscovering each other, walking through their old memories while creating new ones. Mark had found a way to continue his work remotely, and Anna knew that this time he was here to stay. On a quiet evening by the river, Mark held her hand. No more goodbyes, only forever. Anna smiled through her happy tears. Only forever. And as they kissed under the starlit sky, they knew love had found a way back home.